Hey, bless up, bless up. What's happening? Happy Saturday, happy weekend, y'all. I hope you enjoy your weekend and you're doing your thing. You're excited, you're happy, you're about to win. Gotta win, y'all, gotta win. But yeah, today I just want to talk about something that was, on my heart for quite some time. And I was like, let me go ahead and make a video for my fathers out there. Everybody I know that's out there doing their thing for their kids and providing and protecting for their children and such as myself. So it come to find out, one, I love being a father, man. I love being a father. I love being a daddy. I love being just a provider, protector, Papa Bear all the way. And to be honest with you, I don't think I know it's a humongous blessing. So shout out to all the fathers that just recently had a child. My boy Andre up there in Ghana. He moved to Ghana. Congratulations, he moved to Ghana and ended up, finding a wife and getting married, and they just had a baby boy. He's probably what two weeks old now, if that. So, welcome to Team No Sleep. Again, my name is King Kevin Dorival. I'm an author, filmmaker, future multi-millionaire, and father of two beautiful baby girls. And I runs a few things by you guys regarding the fathers and the daddies. Regardless of how society makes it look like it doesn't mean anything, that is not important. I am here to tell you it is very, very important to have our fathers with us, to be in the homes, in the communities, fighting for our children, fighting to protect the honor of our women, which is lacking today, as you guys can see. FAU, Florida Atlantic University, they did a research project earlier this year, I think around February, April. And that's where I graduated from, Florida Atlantic University. I graduated Florida Atlantic University back in 2005, majored in political science, minor in marketing. I should have been history because I love history. And but in that research they did a test study with about 16 inmates, right? 16 black male inmates. And in that research study, they found out some very interesting things that I want to share with you guys regarding one, there's nearly about 1.1 million fathers out there in prison. No, 1.1 black men in prison, and 500,000 of them are fathers. So you got half a million. You got half a million of these fathers in prison, and that means you got probably 3 million children out here, black children out here without their fathers in their life. And so, what does that mean? That's, that's bad on many levels. Um, Another thing that I realize is that if you have that many fathers locked up in prison, you have that many fathers that aren't there in the community. That means you also leave your children open to predators, people who going to tell your daughter, they're beautiful and pretty much play games with them until they get into their draws, use and abuse them, possibly even kill them. A lot of these women are getting killed on dates these days. They meet these guys on online dating sites or even social media. They're getting flown or picked up different places, and then they get killed. Then they get or sexually assaulted. So it's a very serious situation. And then you got the young black boys who end up hustling, trying to make ends meet, trying to help the mom, pay some of these bills, and they feel this pressure, and so they go and rob, steal, kill, and destroy, slang dope, do whatever it takes, and they end up in prison. Out of those 16 inmates, two of them were in prison with their fathers. There's a movie on Netflix called All Day, All Night, and very powerful movie, very, 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 very deep and real, man. Based in California, where people were, guys were just all, young men slinging dope, hustling, killing, robbing, doing whatever. But one of them ended up being a hitman, for a dope dealer, and he ended up in prison You know what I'm saying? He ended up in prison with his father. And so when that happened, I was like, how many times does this happen? How often? How uh is this an epidemic? You know what I'm saying? Is this an epidemic? And the title of the movie is All Day and a Night, starring Jeffrey Wright and Ashton Sanders. Very good actors rather. You know, movie was produced back in 2020. Great movie. Watched it on Netflix. It has very deep messages in it. I loved it. I just don't know is it based on a true story or not. But this movie and described on the Wikipedia, it says the movie's a young man considers the people, circumstance, and system that set him on the path leading to his incarceration in the same prison of his father. And it was just like, wow, how often does this happen? Now, being a father, I remember when my daughter was first born, my oldest daughter, Naila. Matter of fact, her picture is on my office wall. See this picture here? This picture here is like, it means a lot to me. This is when my life changed, August 25th, 2021. And I held her in my arms. This is what you call skin and skin. You take off your shirt and put the baby on your chest so you can feel your heartbeat and feel your skin and just smell you. And she was crying a lot. She was definitely crying a lot. Why is that what we have become what about the problem we have become this way? Good question, Big Joe 66 on Instagram. The system set it up this way. When they started the welfare program back in the 60s, 70s, they were pushing the fathers out the home. A woman couldn't get welfare if she couldn't get welfare if a man lived in the home. So in order to get welfare and government assistance, she had to be single. So they promoted singleness. They really hyping this up in the Black community. And so as they pushed the fathers out, the children had no male figure in the home. So now the kids going crazy. And the fathers in the street struggling, trying to make it. Now they doing robbing and killing, selling drugs to make ends meet because they couldn't get a job, especially if you're a felon. And the system makes sure you stay in the cycle of recidivism. Recidivism is the rotating door of going in and out of prison on a regular basis, or getting out of prison or jail and going right back in. And the time that I got locked up back in 2000, 2001, I literally watched, like, I made my mistakes. I wasn't always perfect. I'm 43 now. Back then, I was like 2021. But when I was in the jail and I was able to avoid prison, thank God, by the judge and also my lawyer who made sure I paid for my classes, college classes, before I went to court for sentencing, so they could see that I have every intention of going to school. So when the judge seen the receipt, not just my words, but he seen the receipt, I paid the $2,000-$3,000. I remember my brother's baby mama was counting the money for me. Him and her was counting the money for me in the backseat of my car because I had a shoebox full of cash. I didn't even know how much money I had. And they counted out $2,500, I think it was. And then they, what I'm saying, I used the money, some of the money had blood on it. So it was real, 'cause I used to sling drugs. I used to do robberies. I never did no home invasion, but I've been in stores, jewelry stores, different type situations. I always wanted to rob a money truck. You know what I mean? I always want to rob a money truck, man. I still, to this day, I still have fantasies of doing it, but I won't do it. Now I got the sense, but back then I had the guns, I had that thug passion in me, and I wanted to get this money. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want my mom struggling. I didn't want us to fall in that cycle of poverty. But the decision of hustling cost me my freedom for about a year. But in that process, I was able to watch and see the generations of young Black men just messed up, man, on drugs. A lot of them was in jail on the way to prison for murder. Some of them was on their way to prison for robbery, rape, domestic violence, child molestation, dope dealing, armed trafficking, armed robberies. I mean, it was some crazy things. And a lot of them was still high on them drugs when they came into the jail. And so when I was in there, I was like, man, God, why you got me in this thing, man? I got better things to do with my time, my life, my future. And when I was there, I was able to witness the destruction of my community, kind of like Marcus Garvey did back in the day. Marcus Garvey, who was the leader of the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association. You know, when he was traveling around the world, he seen the destruction, the degradation, the generation of his people. He was like, no matter where I go around the world, my people are suffering. My people are starving. They on the lowest of the low in the economy, in the community, the lowest of the low on the ladder of success. They never had anything more than the money they had in their pocket. And so I made a vow to myself. And hey, what's up, Superman Clark, 97, and ain't been back since. Real talk, man. I appreciate that. And we need more people that don't go back. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I went in 2001, I never went back neither. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I remember when they were putting the handcuffs on my hand to release me. You know, when they get you out the cell, you about to go home, they still got to put you in handcuffs. They're trying to put the handcuffs in front of me, like, you know, handcuffs in the front. I said, no, man, put the handcuffs in the back. I don't want no special treatment. Put the handcuffs in the back the same way I walked in there in handcuffs with my head up. I'm going to walk out with handcuffs with my head up at the same thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, I've made a vow to myself and to God that, look, man, get me free, God. I'm going to do whatever I can to help save as many black men as I can. You know, whether it's how, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know if I was just going to be volunteering, if I was going to be mentoring. I didn't know if I was just going to open up some sort of shelter for young men. But I knew I was going to do something. And it was going to be significant because I'm a very ambitious and driven individual. So I knew I was going to make it happen. And that's what I did. So ever since then, I've been volunteering. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to be at a community program today. We mentor young boys here in Atlanta, the BBA, Black Boys Anonymous, but I didn't do it today because, you know, I had to get a lot of things to do for the house, and I knew I wanted to do this program, and I knew if had I have gone, I wouldn't have been able to do this, you know, this podcast on why fathers are important. You know what I'm saying? Promoting our fathers, promoting them, highlighting their achievements, and just, you know what I'm saying, be excited about being black, man. 'Cause a lot of us don't even want to be black. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by where we put our money. We put our money in the hands of Koreans, white people, Hispanics. We put the money in their community, but not in our community. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what Black Boys Anonymous, who meets every first um, first Saturday of the month. And so I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. This is one of the flyers for those who may want to, you know what I'm saying, go to one of these meetings here in Atlanta. If you know somebody in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, pull up. If you want to see me, you wonder where I'm going to be, I ain't too hard to find. You know what I mean? You're going to see me working in the community, doing what I do. So here it is right here. It's the Black Boys Anonymous. As you guys can see on the screen, this is the program. This is an old flyer from last month, but today, December 2nd, there's a new flyer, but the address is always the same. Legacy Center, 30115 RN Martin Street, East Point, Georgia, 30344. So definitely awesome program. I mean, man, these kids learning about real estate. They're learning about business, starting businesses, entrepreneurship, learning how to be a gentleman. I mean, we do things like on and on and on. I mean, it's a phenomenal program, something that needs a lot more support and to be spoken about a lot more. I remember going to a modeling, a fashion show. There's a fashion show. There was a Haitian woman who organized it. Don't remember her name, but she had a great mentoring program for women. Celebrities were there. I mean, Terry Vaughn was there. You guys know the actress who from what show she plays on now? She plays on some show now, but back in the day, she was on that Steve Harvey show. You know, she was one of the teachers, that fine teacher with the chocolate skin. That's Terry Vaughn right there. But she was there. Another celebrity was there. It was a packed house. I was one of the vendors selling my books. But and this is one of the first years that I was in Atlanta. And I was looking at this program, I'm like, wow, they teaching these girls how to start their own businesses. They start teaching these girls how to develop products, manufacture the products, how to market the products. I'm looking at this like, wow, where's the program like this, you know what I'm saying, for black boys, for black young men? Not that I was hating. I thought it was a great program. I didn't think. I know it was a great program. I'm looking at it. The kids, the little girls had a table set up with their eyelash products, with their lotions, with their lip glosses. Some of them had their own clothing lines. To my girls, young as 14, 15 years old, 16 years old. Not only that, they even have a scholarship waiting on them. So I'm like, yeah, we need to start doing more things like this so that men would be happy to be men. You know, it's a tribe, warrior tribe in Africa, Mali. The Mali warriors. You might have heard of Mali warriors out there in West Africa, and make sure this is in West Africa. But in this tribe, what I liked about this tribe when I read about them is that they train the boys to be men. In order to train the boys to be men, they separated them from the girls. Literally separated them from the community. They had a whole another camp separate. And they with the men. The men teach them how to hunt. They teaching them how to kill, how to fight, how to fish, how to take care of home, how to defend themselves, and how to go to war, obviously. And so it's it's I was very impressed by it because when they one of the rites of passage that the boys have to go through is to be circumcised. I'm talking about boys 13, 12, 13 years old. So, in America, in many parts of the world, they boys get circumcised, I mean the foreskin of the penis get cut, get trimmed or cut. Babies here get circumcised very early age. As a matter of fact, maybe 2, 3 days within the day they were born. But in Mali, which is part of it's the biggest city, they're saying, in a town called, I'm going to tell you right now, Mali, the official republic of Mali, landlocked in West Africa. So I was right. Mali is the 18th largest country in Africa. It has a population of 1.2 million people. The boys at teenage age get circumcised, and if they move, if they flinch, if they cry, they automatically failed and will be an embarrassment to the family. I mean, their mom, their dad, their sister, their uncles, the whole community knows about it, and they will not be entitled as a man, and they would not get married. And I was like, damn, that's pressure. But the thing is, as a man must be challenged. A man not only must be challenged, but he must meet that challenge head on. Not cry about it, not complain, not be scared. You know what I'm saying? Like deal with the challenge. Don't run from it. Learn how to deal with pain. In today's society, men don't know how to deal with pain. Boys don't know how to deal with pain. They cry about everything. They're more emotional than females. They have all this estrogen in them. They need to get some sort of testosterone injections or something. So feminine and soft. And case in point, growing up, I played football my life, middle school, high school, first 2 years in college, and we had something called tour days. And tour days, you had to literally work out and practice in the hottest days of the summer, in summer break, in order to make the team. This goes on for a week. You practice in 2 days. Start 8 o'clock in the morning, in about 11. Take a break for a few hours. Come back, I think, around 3 o'clock, and end at 6 or something like that. This was grueling, but it made us tough, and it built camaraderie amongst the men. Yeah, a lot of the guys will play around, and some of us be trying to sleep. Luckily for me, I lived across the street, but you couldn't leave. You had to stay. You know what I'm saying? Because you go home, you might not come back. Even though I lived across the street from the high school, and I had to go to school for free lunch and a free air conditioner. I didn't have air conditioning at my house. My balls were sweating at my house, man. We were sweating. You had to take frequent showers to stay cool and fresh because it was so hot. So, I definitely take for granted air conditioning. So I empathize with people who don't have air conditioning in a lot of these third world countries. And many parts of Haiti, Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad, a lot of those homes don't have air conditioning. Some of these homes don't have, what I'm saying, water, proper sanitation, et cetera. So I don't take anything for granted. But the point I'm trying to make is I grew up in the era where probably the last the last kings, you know what I'm saying? The era of the last kings, to be raised with toughness, to be strong, to want to provide, to want to protect, you know what I'm saying? To want to be a gentleman, to want to open up the doors for women, to want to stand up for them in the street. If some guy harassing them, you know what I'm saying? If you see some guy groping a woman, you're gonna stand up and defend her honor. That was the main thing that African brothers and sisters, our ancestors, up until about the 80s, because all that faded away the 90s and 2000s. The 90s was probably the last decade of the true gentleman. You know what I'm saying? I probably might have to make a video on that. But it doesn't mean that we can't come back, that we can't protect, that we can't, you know what I'm saying, provide for our children the way that we should. And I know a lot of times the women make it hard. I know it, you know what I'm saying? But you got to forgive our black women. They've been through a whole lot, especially if that trauma is still in their DNA from our ancestors. You feel what I'm saying? So I would never give up my black queens, you know what I mean? But who's responsible for the condition that our women are in today? 70% of our black homes are single parent homes. 70. Some stats say up to 80% of our queens are living in these homes by themselves. No man to provide and protect for them. No, I mean at all. You know what I mean? I watch these crime shows and I watch quite a bit of them. Kind of slow down a little bit because it does mess with your consciousness a little bit. It makes you kind of, you know what I'm saying, on your toes a little too much. But a lot of these sexual predators, a lot of these rapists, what they were saying, and even child molesters, what they were saying was they will watch these women. They will look through their windows, monitor them, you know what I'm saying, and watch and see, follow them home, whether it's on a bus or they walking or from work. They'll literally stalk them. And once they realize that they don't have a man in the house, they're single by themselves, it's just them and their kids. It was open season. They breaking through their windows and then assaulting the women and the children sometimes. And the women be lucky they didn't get killed. So I say all that to say this, man. Please let's not undermine our men. Let's stop undercutting our men, thinking that they don't mean nothing and that there's nothing they can do or provide because they can. I really hope that we can we can start doing things for our children. We can actually start um, providing protecting on a major way, because if black men was to put our money together, and I was just watching an interview last night of a basketball star. I can't remember his name. I want to say his name was Ryder or something like that. But he was saying that, look, I got 100 million, you got 120 million, you got 150 million, you got 200 million. Why we can't put $250,000 each on building a school? Why we can't build a shelter in our own communities? And it was like no bank is gonna turn us down if we coming up with this much money in our pocket. Why can't we, you know what I'm saying, do these things so that we can show these children, you know what I'm saying, how to be, especially the boys, how to be a man, how to protect, how to, you know what I'm saying, guide and et cetera, et cetera. So I truly felt the brother when he said that. You know what I'm saying? I truly felt him. Like, why are we so conditioned to think that we can collectively come together and be the fathers in the community for the ones that don't have fathers there, the ones that don't have that guidance. I just got off the phone today, literally get off the phone today with a brother, a good friend of mine, Tony, who's in prison. Now Tony ended up getting in some deep trouble. I'm not gonna go into the case too much, but he got into deep trouble, self-defense, ended up killing somebody. So now they gave him 60 years in prison. He has a good chance to win on an appeal because it was self-defense. The guy had a knife, took a knife from the guy, and he stabbed him. But he has two kids out here in the streets. Two, a boy and a girl. And I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know he misses kids. You know what I mean? He was a great father when he was out. My brother's serving life sentence in prison right now. Another good friend of mine is Joe. He's serving a life sentence right now. So it's like all these life sentences that these guys are getting, and I knew that I didn't want that life. I didn't want to head that direction. I don't want to be in prison. I love women. You know what I'm saying? I love the scent of a woman. I love to be able to talk and hold and smell my woman and take showers with her and cook with her and go out, you know what I'm saying? Make passionate love. Like I love doing stuff like that. I mean, that like for real. And you can't do that in prison. Like for real. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that in prison. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And really no, it's really no room for you in prison. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity to have a woman like that, you know what I'm saying, in your life. So, um, man, I definitely love to hear more of y'all thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Superman Clark Kent again for chiming in and putting his 2 cents in and on the mic. But being able to have a say so in your children's lives, these guys in prison can't do that. They can't do that. You know what I'm saying? They have no opportunity to be able to provide and protect and to, you know what I'm saying, say something in regards to their children's lives. Um, and this is why I wrote some of my books. These are my first 3 books. I got a 4th one coming out called America's and France's A Thousand Year War Against Haiti. But as you see through my website, especially these first 2 books here, especially The Courage to Believe, you know, that book was really about, you know, me wanting to be able to help other people who might be in a situation that I was in, to make sure that these young men don't end up in jail or prison. Like, and if you're a parent, make sure your children read books such as The Courage to Believe, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. There's other books like it that men and women are sharing true stories of how they were able to, you know what I mean, to be able to avoid jail, avoid prison, to be able to, and if they did make those mistakes and end up in those spaces, they're able to get out and stay out. You know what I mean? So shout out everybody who's all the fathers out there. You know, I definitely hope more fathers chime in. Definitely love to hear more of the fathers chime in. If you know a father, please like this video. Please share this video, comment, all that good stuff. You know what you got to do. You know, and besides that, you know, I just hope that we can hold our men to a higher standard so they can hold our women to a higher standard. Because believe it or not, it's a woman that crowns a man king, especially in the days of Kemet, the days of our ancient ancestors. A man could not become king until he was crowned by a queen, that you the king now. You the ruler of this empire, of this castle, of this pyramid, of the civilization, this community. You're the king, you the ruler, you the provider, protector. Not for you to throw your ego everywhere. Of course, men got egos. I got a big ego too. You know what I mean? But I'm not a narcissist. You feel what I'm saying? I understand my powers. I really understand my powers. I probably understand my powers until I would say about 32 years old, when I realized, like, wow, whatever I put my mind to, I can accomplish. If I focus hard enough on it, if I pray enough on it, and I'm walking in my purpose. I'm not allowing the jail systems to determine who I am and what's my value. And that's the biggest thing. The criminal justice system dictates to you and to your children, to your nieces and nephews, how much they're worth. And it's a number to give them. It's a 9-digit number. I believe it's 9 digits, the size of a social security number. Security number is nine numbers, right? But they give you these numbers, and you're an inmate. This is who you are from here on out. Like Jennings, the R&B singer, you know, his first album was his prison number. You feel what I'm saying? And he spoke, you know, and he was able to get out of prison and do something great with himself. Then messed up and went up going back to prison years later. But he was able to make something of himself, especially with his background. It was a very troubling neighborhood where he was from, if I'm not mistaken, out there in Philly. So, I make these videos. I'm always, trying to be positive, not trying to be. I am a positive person. You know what I mean? And another thing is that I realized with having children, 'cause I got 2 beautiful babies now. Thank God. I had them on the buzzer, so I'm very happy about that. Because I'm about to be 43, and literally, literally a month. And my birthday is literally in a month. So yeah, definitely send me some gifts, cash at me. You see my cash app, you know what I mean? that courage to believe. But even if you don't, when I when I had my babies in my hand, man, it was like, wow, like it gave me a reason to live again, a reason to be proud, to be a man, to be a black man, a black king at that. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me like that extra drive to push forward. I renovate houses and do mold remediation here in Georgia. My company is called Sky Clean Air Services, and skycleanairservices.com. So definitely, if you have anybody renovations, high quality magazine renovations, they need to have you got mold in their house or under their house, any type of renovation, indoor, outdoor, we do it. Everything other than plumbing. But man, I will work 12 hours straight. You know what I mean? Because I ain't even thinking about me no more. Me, I don't matter. It's about my children. Could you imagine if a million black men was able to walk these streets proud and happy with their heads up, their pants not sagging, they looking straight, ahead, congratulating each other, complimenting everybody in the community, helping out the women, helping out the old people, mentoring the young boys and girls. Could you imagine a million black men walk around proud of themselves, believing in themselves, seeing themselves as gods and kings, seeing themselves as providers and protectors? Could you imagine what kind of world this would be? Could you imagine what kind of world Haiti would be if the men were conditioned to think and to live like that? Could you imagine what kind of world it would be in Rwanda or in the Congo or in Chicago or in Atlanta and in Cali? You know what I'm saying? In Gary, Indiana, in Harlem, New York. Can you imagine what type of world this would be? It would be a beautiful thing. Recently, about a month ago, I want to say, maybe more than that, there was a brother up here in Atlanta who killed his son. He killed his son and threw his son in a dumpster. Why would you do that, man? I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't fathom doing no shit like that as a father. And he's gonna rot in jail, and he might even get killed in jail for doing such a thing, because they know people in prison don't play about that way, but about kids. You're gonna get dealt with. Rapists and child molesters, they're gonna deal with you once they find out what your charges was. Um, but as a man, we gotta pick it up, man, because what's going on with our sisters, our young girls? You see what the young ladies doing today, pimping these guys for lunch, dinner, to buy them meals, and not even interested in actually dating. And that's another thing, the problem. Nobody's seriously dating. Everyone's trying to use someone for what they can offer them and not what they can do together. So that's a humongous problem. So definitely chime in. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments, et cetera, on what's going on. And just, we need to save our children from people like R. Kelly or Aaron Halls of the world or Puff Daddies of the world. We need to save our children from people like that. So I definitely hope you guys learned something today. I had to drop this video. Getting ready to drop some real nice videos. You see this camera behind me. It's a big money camera right there. You know what I'm saying? 4K quality. The two mics set up, let y'all know I ain't playing with it. You can tell that the quality sounds a little different. You know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, I also want to do this for all the fathers out there. Kids love this. Watch this. Yeah. My daughter love bubbles, man. So shout out to all the fathers. Oh yeah, one time for Dre and his newborn baby. You know what I'm saying? Fred Sanchez, my cousin, for his newborn baby. My nephew for his newborn baby on the way. I'm shooting these bubbles for y'all, man. So that's a little thing I got for my daughter. It shoots 1,000,000 bubbles. So I don't let her play with it too much, because your house will be flooded with bubbles. You know what I mean? But kids love bubbles, man. But yeah, I definitely got some good quality products coming out. Some good podcast things on history. What I'm going to do actually with all my videos, the ones that I felt as if I could have done better, especially because I'm doing it live. I'm going to do professionally edited videos on history, relationships, politics. I definitely want to talk about this what's going on in Haiti with the invasion from Kenya. There's a Haitian flag behind me. Those who don't know what that is. What's going on with Palestine and Israel and Gaza and all that stuff, and Congo. Like, I'm gonna really go in, but I'm gonna put like real nice, take my time. Might take me a few days, a week to do each video, but each one gonna be of high quality. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna get it up because I'm seeing a lot of people losing faith in this world, losing hope in themselves. I don't want you losing hope. It's a beautiful world out here, man. Beautiful life if you can actually live it. If you can actually take the time to enjoy the simple things of life. I'm not one of these guys on YouTube or social media that post things that everything's all peaches and cream and I'm sounding all good. Everything I'm telling you is the advice that I use in my own personal life. So when I make a mistake, when I do something wrong, I own up to it. You know what I'm saying? I apologize, try to make things right, not just through words of apologies, but actions. When I do something correct, I compliment myself, especially if no one's there to compliment me. You know what I mean? So until I find me a wife and get married, you know, it's because I'm not with the mother of my children. For those who don't know that by now, only my inner people really know that, but now the world knows it now. So King Kevin is single. You know what I'm saying? I do work out. I do look good. You know what I mean? Might do something with my hair with these locks, but I love my locks. You know what I mean? I always said I was gonna grow my locks back. I cut them in 2007 when my homeboy got married. You know, funny true side story. When at his wedding, nobody knew. You know, they seen me, and they've all, and my locks were very long, about as long as they are right now. So everybody seen me, and they was like, "Man, what's so different about you?" So no one could really point out that I cut my hair. Nobody. Only person who knew that was my ex girlfriend who was in that wedding, but n- not the groom, not the bride, not the families. Nobody could point out what was so different about me that I had cut my locks. But you know, some women say that I look way better with my locks off and with a low cut, pre-award cut. But I've always liked that, you know, my locks because it reminds me of my ancestors. It reminds me of the DNA of my ancestors, the warriors, the warrior tribes, warrior kingdoms. You know, from the motherland of Africa to Haiti to the United States of America. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're going into 2024. I hope you guys have, you know, your plans locked in and you locked in doing some things. Man, don't believe the hype. Go after your goals and dreams. Believe me, anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish. If you put your mind to it, especially positive things, especially for men. These are my fathers out there, especially my fathers, the team no sleep. When you have a goal in mind, don't just, this is my goal. Write it down. Say it to yourself. Repeat it 10 times before you go to sleep. In the morning, repeat it to yourself again. Do little incremental steps, even if it's not big steps. You know, if you can't go outside to go to this meeting or to this networking thing, go on the computer, send an email, take a step towards your goals every single day. And that's what I live by. That's why I own a few businesses. That's why I have this beautiful setup right here that you have in front of you. That's why I'm able to write those books, and that's why I'm going to be a future multimillionaire any day now. I'm just waiting on it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm working hard and aggressively towards it. Man, much love to y'all. There's no better feeling than being a father. Trust me, there's no better feeling than being a father. But those who are not taking care of their kids, I don't give a damn what you're going through with your baby mama. I don't give a damn what it is. She could be a damn devil. You feel what I'm saying? She devil. She can have that Jezebel spirit. You have to find the strength to look beyond her and focus on the children. Look beyond her, focus on the children. Eventually, she's gonna see that. Don't ask about who she dating or give her compliments how sexy she look and trying to get back with her. If you get back with her, definitely for the sake of the kids, and hopefully because there's love there, then do so. But do not, do not get into arguments. Do not fight. Do not, you know what I'm saying? Just avoid any type of friction and keep it about the kids. Trust me, you will have a relationship with your children. I know some of these women that they're trying to bleed you to death for money, child support, et cetera, et cetera. Thank God that my baby mother is not like that. Even though she threatened me with that, it didn't matter to me because I'm going to take care of my kids anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the police. I don't need the white man to tell me what my responsibilities are. And I get my kids every other weekend. And sometimes I see them even when it's not my weekend. I ask, hey, can I come see them? Because I love my children. My babies are smart. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It's what I always want to do in my life was to be a husband and a great father. The husband part isn't happening, but the great father part is. So, I'm taking it for what it is, and I don't want you guys giving up on your goals and dreams. Do not do it. I don't care how many kids you have. Take care of each and every one of them, and don't be having children if you're not gonna take care of them. If you can't take care of them, and it's not fair to the mom. It's not fair to the children. Because growing up, my father would tell me he's coming over the weekend. He'll be there in the morning to pick me, and my brothers up, and he never came, and it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I remember the one time I must have stayed up from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 8 o'clock at night until it got dark to realize he wasn't coming. And when I realized he wasn't coming, from that point on, it was like, man, F him. You know what I'm saying? I don't need him. And my mom was like, and she was pissed off at him for doing that because he'll break his word. And that's the reason why I'm a man of my word today, because of the experience I had with my father, the lack of experience I had with my father. So that's why I'm the man out here today, King Kevin Dorival. So definitely visit my website, kevindorival.com. I appreciate the support, to the Cash App donations, and also to our GoFundMe, Stop the War Against Haiti, which is in the description of this video. Definitely, I want you guys to start holding our men accountable. Start getting some compliments to our men, even men to compliment other men. It's all right to say, hey, bro, you looking sharp, brother. It's cool to say that, man. Damn, bro, you a good looking, strong young man. Don't make it gay, nothing like that. But if you somebody dressed nice shoes, say something nice. Because believe it or not, when you give somebody a compliment, that's a gift. That's a blessing. That blessing reflects to you. So if you somebody who don't like giving compliments when it's due, that just says a lot about you. As a matter of fact, children are a mirror of who you are. So whoever you say you are, you portray you are to the world, whether it be online or in your personal life, your children is going to reflect the truth of who you really are. You know what I'm saying? So if you're really a nice person, it's going to show that in your children and how you deal with them. And that's not 100% true, because some people be great with their children and awful with other people because they're antisocial or introverts or whatever. But regardless of the fact, man, life is good. You know what I mean? So bless up to all my fathers and soon to be fathers. One of my nephew got a baby on the way in February around my birthday. So shout out to Devon. I love you, man. Proud of you doing your thing in college. All my nephews, I'm proud of y'all, from the young ones to the oldest one, to my cousins, nephews, you know what I'm saying, uncles, grandfathers, and love y'all, man. Blessings. All right, you guys enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in. This is King Kevin. I would hate to get off the mic right now, but I really got some other things I should be doing right now. But I definitely want to put these words of positive energy out there, because the world is filled with so much negativity. I can't stand it. Jesus, can't get some positivity in the world? Can we? Huh? Can we? So that's a clap that I gave. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Bless up.